Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Maximum Extreme podcast. My name is Bobby Stryker.
I'm Juliana.
And this week, we're reviewing Skyfall. Yeah! You are listening to the Maximum Extreme podcast. Everyone, we have Juliana back in the hot seat with us today. Hello, how are you?
Hello, it's great to be back.
Yeah, it's great to have you back.
Yep, and reviewing another movie that I'm not really familiar with, another movie franchise that I'm not really familiar with.
And the oldest, right? It's the oldest franchise,
yeah,
I think,
the first one was, 1962, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we're already in 2012. Gosh,
so
it's 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah, so that's why there's so many 50 years, James Bond's 50 years anniversary souvenirs, right? You noticed?
Is it?
I saw an Omega watch.
I think every movie they seem to release a new edition of the watch. I'm not sure.
But I saw specifically
50th.
they did specify that this is a 50-year edition.
I see.
And then okay, I'm a beauty blogger, right? So yeah, today I was just looking at some nail polish websites. One of them was OPI, and then one of the female leads in James Bond, one of the Bond girls was the spokesperson for one of the Skyfall collection. Can you believe it?
Skyfall collection.
Yeah, Skyfall collection.
Are women that into it? They actually have a nail polish range called the Skyfall
I'm surprised
collection.
myself because I'm not a big action flick fan. So
really
but that was
wow.
something, that was something interesting, something new to me.
No, that's pretty cool. But how have you been otherwise before we get into the film? Everything good with you?
Yeah, everything is great. Like I mentioned before, in the last podcast, I'm still working on my new website. It's a pretty huge project. Yeah, hoping to, compete with the big boys. So even though it's been a month, but I'm still working on it.
Okay.
And yeah, I've been pushing the launch date, back because of everything that's going on right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm hoping, that I can launch this new website soon. And yeah, hopefully it can benefit you too.
Well, cool. Good luck. We're all looking forward to seeing it. So that'll be cool.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. This is the part where you ask me how I've been.
I don't really care.
All right, okay. Well, if anyone cares, probably no one does. I'm okay.
Because I see you almost every week, so yeah, I know you're okay, so don't bother.
I'm okay. Yeah. Okay then. So Skyfall, cool new Bond film.
Oh, you did do a review for this one already, right?
I wrote a review of it. Did you read it?
I skimmed through it. I thought, you made a few valid points.
All right. Okay, that's cool.
The appearance of the Bond car again. I thought that was interesting. Actually, when I was in the movies, when I was watching that part, I saw people. I heard people applauding and people whistling. Whoa, wow!
You mean when the Aston Martin came up?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I think was it also the part where they were playing the original. The music, the jingle thing, yeah.
Well, I think they played it quite a few times, but I remember one point. Okay, I'm gonna quickly skim through a very quick synopsis, and there's probably going to be spoilers in this. Okay, so Skyfall it starts with Bond on chasing some guy who's stolen some hard drive, right? Some hard drive which contains the double identity of every spy in the world. And yeah, it's a bit like Mission Impossible. They had something like that in the first one, I think, the knock list. So he's chasing this guy and they're fighting on top of a train, and it could be the last chance to shoot the bad guy. So M gives the order to fire to this sniper woman, and she misses and hits Bond, and they think he's dead. We know otherwise. And we see him being a drunk and a womanizer on some
deserted island.
Some kind of beach island. And then there's some catastrophe at MI6, and Bond gets wind of this and brings him back to England, and then the chase is on again. And so all kinds of stuff happens. He goes around the world, and the bad guy is Javier Bardem, who's Silver or someone. And there's a lot of things Bond fans like coming back, like the Aston Martin. So that was pretty cool. And it's the original one, I think.
It looks really old, so it must be.
And it still has the ejector seat. I like it. So Yeah, so what did you think of it? Did you like it?
I've seen Dr. No, and I remember some parts also from like the Pierce Brosnan movies, James Bond movies. And yeah, this definitely has a different feel to it, like a darker feeling. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like there's less humor, but more action, and more melancholic in that way. Like everything is really sad,
But it seems like everything wants to be like that. I don't know why.
Like Harry, it reminded me of what Harry Potter and those kids movies where in the end became really dark. It's all about killing only.
Yeah.
Now it's that. I mean, like I always enjoyed the part like when where Q introduced new gadgets to
which they've got rid of
to James. And then this Q. Yeah, it's pretty not the conventional. Like he's not the smartest.
Yeah, so in this film we're introduced to a new and very young Q, and he's a bit of a boffin. And
I like the part, my most favorite part about Q is every time he reminds Bond to return the object in pristine condition. It's so funny because that would never happen.
Oh, see, there's all these little things that developed over the history of all the Bond films, which they decided to kind of do away with when they made Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. I don't know, I know what you mean. Like, they're all really dark, like Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Amazing Spider-Man, all these reboots trying to be dark and gritty, but...
I don't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like that either, and...
We're singing the same tune.
That's strange, that's not usually the case. But then in the film, those things that people claim they didn't like, the gadgets, and then...
Who are people?
Well, I guess the people who like the Daniel Craig movies. They like Casino Royale.
His movies? Oh, okay.
Well, didn't you like his movies?
I think they were okay. I actually like the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Okay.
That one was pretty okay. But then even that wasn't original, right? It was like taken from...
I haven't seen the remake with Daniel Craig.
The Swedish
I've only seen
version.
the original one. Do you think he makes a good Bond?
I think, I don't know, it's very hard to, when you call him Bond, it's really hard to relate to him as, James Bond after you've seen the previous ones. And it all have like, certain traits, similar traits and looks. Most of them are like dark hair and long face. And
not blonde and blue eyes.
Yeah, he's like, she's this...
And not gym monkeys. Like really built. Yeah. I'm surprised you're saying this, because I thought a lot of the ladies liked Daniel Craig.
It's fresh, but it just defeats the whole, James Bond franchise.
Do you think?
The whole idea behind it, the novel, everything. I can't see the novel there anymore. I can't see Ian Fleming. Ideas in it anymore. I mean, you see they're trying hard to sometimes bring it back, but then out of the 2.5 hour movie, probably like maybe only like less than 1/4 or 1/5 of it is like there's this old James Bond flavor, but the rest is just like a modern 21st century Hollywood movie, action packed movie.
So it starts kind of cool. Yeah, I like the beginning. So I was really against Daniel Craig as Bond. I just thought he...
Oh, can I talk something? Say something about the beginning? I do like, surprisingly, I think Adele's her soundtrack, is it, for this movie?
Yeah, the Skyfall song.
Skyfall song was pretty
Is it
pretty
called
good,
Skyfall? The song, I don't know.
The lyrics, there was Skyfall in it, right?
No, you're right, because I saw that and I thought it was rubbish.
I heard it on the radio actually. Every day when I'm driving, I hear the song, but I'm like, oh, this is not a nice song.
Yeah.
But after like watching in the movies, it's not bad actually.
Yeah.
Like
it feels better, because I saw it on YouTube and I didn't like it. But when you see it in the context of the movie, you have that beginning action sequence, then the credits roll and Adele's song starts, and it seems to fit really well. So then actually that becomes quite cool. So it doesn't work as a standalone, but it works well in the film. So and so who's your favorite Bond?
Pierce Brosnan, definitely.
Is it
for me?
Not Connery?
He's great, but I'm born in the Pierce Brosnan generation. Like, when I started watching James Bond, he was the first Bond that I know.
Okay.
Then later on, then you watch the older ones. But then, I always thought like he's really suave, and he makes a really good Bond.
So isn't Daniel Craig suave?
in a different way. And somehow, like the rest, right? I'm convinced that they're good guys. Daniel Craig, he just has this bad guy look. It was very hard to see him as
the hero.
The hero, the protagonist of the movie. Many times he seems more like the
bad guy.
Yeah, the bad guy, the antagonist.
Yeah, he does look a bit evil at times. For me, he'll still be.
And he's looking so old for his age. He's like in his 40s, right?
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Yeah, he looks as old as the Bond from Doctor No, Sean Connery.
Well, no offense, to the guy, but he is often referred to as Daniel Craig face. What to do? I mean, but I don't know. I really didn't want him to be Bond. I thought maybe if they went with Clive Owen or Gerard Butler.
Oh yeah, I remember that you actually made some recommendations, right?
Yeah, they would have been cool. They
Bond.
seemed more the part. But then I don't know. But he's been playing Bond for a few years now, Daniel Craig. So I started to kind of get used to the idea. And now watching this film, I don't know if the issue was him or whether it's just the
script.
Yeah, the direction that they're taking the films in, just trying to make them dark and anti-Bond.
I watch E! almost every day, and that day I just heard something from the show. They said that when the producers first selected Daniel Craig as the James Bond for the next few movies, people actually protested. No, he doesn't
there are
make a
whole
good Bond.
websites about
But then now they're saying he's possibly the best Bond. Do you agree?
No, I don't. I don't.
For this era, probably.
No, it's like what you said. I mean, is Brosnan still in this era? He kind of is, right? Mm-hmm. He was a better Bond. I think he was a better Bond in this era than Craig is. It's just that some people say that his Bond films, is a good Bond in not so good Bond films.
It's true.
But they're still entertaining. And Casino Royale, I didn't like it. It was just trying to be too hard to like break all of the Bond traditions that we all love, the gadgets, the humor, the Miss Moneypenny and everything.
Oh, there was one part where he tries to revive that scene, the Honey Riders scene.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so the famous scene from Dr. No where Ursula Andress comes out of the ocean in her bikini is replaced in Casino Royale with Daniel Craig coming out of the ocean in blue swimming trunks. That's ridiculous. And at that point that something's gone wrong. It's really messed up. So the film starts, he goes all over the world. He goes to Shanghai and Macau to try and trace down this guy.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, the Komodo dragons, I never knew they attack people.
So there's this scene where he's in a casino, right?
They are herbivores.
Why?
And suddenly they're like, some attacking.
They're like crocodiles.
Creatures. Yeah.
There's this scene where he's in a casino it's in Macau, right? And he's fighting these guys and they fall into this pit and there are these giant Komodo dragons and they start attacking one of the guys in it. And it was interesting.
Oh, that's where he got to use his the gun that Q gave him.
The fingerprint locked gun or something, so only he can use it. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, the gadgets start coming back, and you can hear people in the theater. They're like, oh yeah, there's some gadgets now and stuff like that. It's these things which they've been trying to avoid, which is surprisingly the things that people want to see and like, despite what they're saying.
This movie reminded me a lot of Charlie's Angels.
Okay.
I think it's the latest one where Demi Moore, the old angel, came back and she was actually the bad guy, right, in the end.
Yeah.
Do you watch that one?
Yeah.
So in this one, it's like almost the same thing, right? The villain is like, some ex-MI6, MI5 agent, right? I was like, what? Like, you guys have nothing else to talk about and write about already, is it?
Okay, that's a fair point. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The archetype for Skyfall was in fact Charlie's Angel Full Throttle, and they just ripped it off. And and then what did you think of the bad guys? Javier Bardem as Silver. Did you think he was a good bad guy?
I thought he was pretty funny actually. There were a few parts where he was first introduced. He said some really suggestive stuff to James Bond.
What the hell was going on?
Suddenly James Bond could be gay too.
So what is that? I don't understand.
You know which part I'm talking about, right?
So when we're introduced When we're introduced to the bad guy, Bond's tied to a chair, and then
Telling
Silver.
the story about mice, right?
Yeah, some silly story about mice, and Silver then sits really close in front of Bond and starts rubbing his thighs, and he says something like, what does he say? It's the first time for
Was it
everything.
try? Yeah.
And then Bond is like, well, who said it would be my first time? What? So what does that mean? He slept with men?
Suddenly James Bond might be gay.
Oh, that's just Ian Fleming would not be happy. All his efforts.
Is he still alive?
No, he's not.
Oh no! All right, that's why they could do this.
Probably. That's terrible. So this is. So all of his womanizing is just to cover up and overcompensate.
Smokescreen, for his sexuality.
No, see, look at this. This is ridiculous. They ruined it. This is really bad. There's no way Connery or Brosnan or any of the other Bonds would have allowed it. This is ridiculous. I don't get it. It's not. Yeah, I didn't even think it was funny.
Look at your face.
Yeah, I don't
so
like
offended.
that. I am. I'm quite offended. I might complain to someone. Yeah, I am complaining. To all of you guys.
There are probably thousands of people listening.
I can't believe they did that. So Bond is now gay with a smoke screen. Okay, so then you have the usual low-key type Avengers sequence, right? Where they capture the bad guy, take him back to the headquarters.
Oh yeah, that was so funny. I was like, oh, this reminds me of the Loki scene.
Yeah, he's locked in that glass.
So excited to be like locked, and then there's all these things happen within the.
It's almost the same. He's in this glass kind of room, right? And then it's all to his plan, and he escapes. And then Bond decides the only way to save, because Javier Silva's main impetus is to try and kill M, because he was an former agent or whatever, and was let down by M, and he tried to bite. Was it a cyanide tooth thing?
Yeah, and destroyed half his face.
Instead of killing him, it destroyed his face and left him alive, and now he looks like Jaws out of the Roger Moore Bond movies. And then, so what Bond does, he decides to take M to Scotland to his
Kidnapped her.
Kind of kidnapped her without really telling anyone.
To his old home, right? Skyfall.
To his old home, Skyfall. And that's where the finale is. And that part of the film I thought was weird. It just seemed weird. Like it went from this epic international scale to a cottage house in Scotland with and people firing shotguns and pitchfork fighting, and I don't know, it seemed weird. It
Probably
seemed
more convenient for the producers.
maybe they're running out of funds or something.
Yeah, so they're all right. Let's settle somewhere like quiet and where we don't have to apply for licenses and stuff. Yeah, it's easier to shoot.
It's just weird. It just that part. I mean, I didn't think it was too bad actually. I was getting more used to seeing Craig as Bond, and then and it was quite interesting the first half, but then when they started going over to Scotland, and then I was like, what's going on here? And it was just really weird. And then in the end,
and it's funny how he destroyed his childhood home.
Yeah,
like this, he was willing to give it all up, for his job.
He was willing to give it all up to protect someone who he then was unable to protect.
Not sentimental at all.
So unfortunately, M dies.
Why so happy? Why laughing? It's really sad.
It's sad, but it's funny because Bond kidnaps her, takes her to Scotland, and then she dies. So he should be
not like
locked
jail
away.
or something.
He should be locked away. He's failed big time. Yeah. So that was quite amusing. What else happens? I don't know. So there were a couple of things which are not so Bond-like.
Wait. Something that's really Bond-like.
Okay,
Moneypenny, Miss Moneypenny.
Oh yeah, that was quite cool. That was probably one of the better things in this film, because it turns out this agent, right, that he was with at the beginning and at certain points throughout the movie, it just gave a nice background to who Miss Moneypenny was. So that was probably the coolest thing in the film.
She's not always a desk-bound girl.
Yeah. So that was cool. I like that. That was quite good. I didn't see that coming, so that was nice. So. Yeah, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 rating. What would you give it?
It's a 3 for me.
A 3?
Yeah, I still prefer the old Bond films.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course the best, is Dr. No.
I'm quite surprised you didn't score it higher.
Yeah, because actually I've been really disappointed at the movies lately. Like, those franchises like Harry Potter and some and then Batman ones, they've become really dark. Like Harry Potter, it was like a kid's film, and then suddenly, everyone is trying to, be cool. And then it was disappointing because James Bond, like actually before watching Skyfall, I went to watch Dr. No again, and I watched trailers, the Die Another Day and Tomorrow Never Dies trailers, and you just kind of remembered why James Bond franchises are so popular. There's this formula that they constantly use. This all these cue the gadgets, the humor, but in the Bond girls, and then in these new ones, like especially Skyfall, I don't know, I don't see, that formula is gone. Now they're diluting themselves. They're joining the ranks of the other normal movie, then the other Batman movies and hero movies, and it's so forgettable. If you go and watch as action-packed movie, it's great. It's great for that 2 hour and a half. Yeah. But when you leave the cinema, I don't think you remember it after a week. You'll be like, oh, just another action movie that I watched. So yeah, I think it's
It's a shame for a Bond movie.
Yeah,
to hear that. Yeah,
I feel like they're not doing justice to Ian Fleming's work. I feel he probably creates his characters for a reason. Like reason why he probably believes that they bring entertainment value. But then with these new ones, all these new characters just are so similar to other characters, even like even like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
so I didn't think it has its own unique flavor anymore. If you see it as a Bond film, it fails terribly. But if you see it as an action-packed movie for 2 hour and a half, maybe it is pretty good. But still, that word is forgettable.
I think it's amazing because it's usually, I don't know, a lot of the women I speak to, they really like him, and they're like, these Bond films. So it seems to be that's the angle, like with him coming out of the ocean in his swimming trunks and stuff. It's a lot more woman-friendly. Like you saw how Dr. No was. He was quite chauvinistic. He was a womanizer, very old school. Nowadays, I don't know. Like you said, it's lost its direction. But that's why I'm surprised to hear you say this, because you're saying stuff that I feel as well. But usually women will be singing a different tune. They'll like him, he's rugged and all this.
You're surprised because this is the first film that, the previous films like Spider-Man and stuff, I don't remember much about the previous ones. But this one, just before watching Skyfall, I watched the older films.
So they're still fresh in your
they're
mind.
really fresh. And then after seeing this, I was like, what the hell? Like, where's the James Bond flavor? Where is the charisma, the sophistication? The whole James Bond character is gone.
Yeah. So you're like the essence of Bond is
the essence of the whole
gone.
Bond films are gone.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Thanks for the breakdown. See, that's really cool. So there you go, folks. That's pretty much it. It's just a quick roundup of our feelings on Skyfall. I think it's worth watching. There's not much else out of the cinema right now, right? Mm-hmm. So it's worth watching. I think it's better than his other 2 installments as Bond. But still, hopefully things will continue to improve. Yeah.
Let's end the year with Skyfall. We had Avengers, Spider-Man, Batman. Yeah, this was a good year. This was a hero year.
Yeah. A lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm so annoyed that Judge Dredd came and went in Singapore, and I didn't even know after podcasting about it and writing about it, and then I missed it. So
get the DVD.
Yeah, definitely Blu-ray
yeah,
or
Blu-ray.
DVD, whatever. But yeah, so that was a shame. But anyhow, okay, guys. So thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Hope you've enjoyed what you've heard. If you've liked what you've heard, remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us.
Like.
Yeah, plenty of likes, and share the joy. Tell your friends. Tell your parents and your pets. And
your pets.
I don't know.
Hey, bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the peach.
And don't forget to check out the
He's
site.
biting it. He's biting the laptop.
Who's Bunny?
My bunny.
Who's biting what? Is he?
The bunny is biting the laptop. You asked him to like it. He's biting.
Oh, right. See,
he's
it
biting
works.
the mouse.
He's liking it. And don't forget to check out our site.
Bunnies like by licking, not biting.
He's going to break the laptop.
Okay.
So,
I have a little bunny with me right now, actually.
yeah, that's interesting. Anyhow, www.maximumextreme.net, check it out. And I think our next podcast will be like a Christmas New Year roundup. Hopefully we'll be able to get the whole team on the podcast. Me, Jules, Yao, Keep. So that hopefully that'll be pretty cool. But until then, take it easy, guys, and we'll catch you next time. Adios.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.